Awesome, awesome. Well, good evening and welcome everybody. So excited to be here with you. I'm Siobhan France. I'm a physical therapist in Laurel, Maryland. And I will tell you what, I'm really excited to share this information with you guys tonight because I have just worked a 10-hour day treating patients. I saw over 20 patients for the day, and I am super pumped to be with you guys because I couldn't have gotten through that without being activated. And so I just got home about 8:30 and it is now 9 o'clock on the dot and I am here with you, still energized and very excited to share the information that we have. So I am gonna hop right in. Again, I will not be able to see any of the comments. I'll leave it open and kind of pop back in and double check, but I won't be able to actively see. All right, so what are we going to be talking about today? We're going to be talking about activation, not supplementation, but very specifically why supplements are not effective. And I want to talk about a word first before we get started, and that word is biohack. And I'm actually wearing a biohacking shirt today. And I didn't actually know that I was a biohacker. I didn't even know what biohacker was. So if you already know what that term means and you already considered yourself a biohacker, drop biohack in the comments because I had no idea what that was. But let's think about this for a second. Bio means life, and hack or hacker means to get an advantage, to take advantage of. So biohacking is to take advantage of life, of all of the things that we have to fulfill our life. So if you drink more water, if you meditate, eating more organic, all of that is to get an advantage. So why this is so important is because we're really talking about this shift from supplementation now to activation. So I had no idea I was a biohacker already, but I already was. So when this information got presented to me, things really made a whole lot of sense. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Let me make sure I can switch my slides here. All right, perfect. So let me ask you guys a question. Have you noticed how many people are low on energy, not sleeping well, not feeling well? Have you noticed that people are getting sicker quicker? Do you find that we're just feeling so bad, right? I can't run into anybody without having a conversation about not sleeping well or not having headaches or just feeling so sluggish throughout the day. Have you guys ever considered why that is? It's because we're being hijacked, right? That's why we feel so bad. We are being hijacked. We are being overstimulated by social media. Just the amount of stress that we're dealing with in life when it comes to work and kids and what have you. Everything is just bombarding us. We're being overloaded with toxins, herbicides, fungicides, pesticides. There's just so much stuff now that's really hijacking our system, hijacking our internal system, and that's all causing us to feel so bad. So what people are really used to doing is they're used to supplementing, okay? They're used to taking something in order to fix a symptom. And that's really what most people know. But if you really think about this, that's a lot of guesswork, right? When you take a supplement, that's a lot of guessing. And there's just a lack of research when it comes to certain things on the market. Just imagine walking into a GNC and seeing all the supplements on the shelf. And we've got some really cool science here with some of the products I'm going to share with you guys, but just thinking about the amount of research that a product has, there's really not any when you're talking about the supplement world. And there's so many companies out there, there's so many brands, and each brand has its own multivitamin. So people are really just running into these stores and not really knowing what to really get or how to really help their body. Let's talk about missing cofactors. So that was really new to me, and I really had no idea about that until now, but let's just use people that are low on iron, for example. If you're low on iron, usually people run to the shop and they get iron pills, usually synthetic, and that's not good for our body. But in order for iron to really be absorbed in our body, it's really best used in combination with vitamin C. So you might be taking something that is not even being absorbed into your system and not even working. So we really call that expensive urine. So that's actually might be happening if you're taking supplements. Let's talk about dependency. That's the other thing. When we're looking to treat a symptom with a supplement, and I use the word treat, but what I'm meaning is saying we're looking to fix something. So if our symptom is we can't sleep well, maybe you're running to the store to buy melatonin, and now you might need melatonin to depend on that in order to help sleep. But are we really getting to the root cause of what's causing us to not be able to sleep? So this is where activation really comes in. And this is a brand new science and technology, but it is a breakthrough technology. And what's great about what I'm going to share with you is that we actually have peer-reviewed studies and papers on PubMed.gov, which is the National Institute of Health Library of Medicine. And I'm going to be sharing some of the science with you about activation and why this is so important. So what we're really talking about here is getting to the root cause of things and down regulating all of our bad genes and up regulating all of the good stuff. So really exciting. We're going to talk about how we can turn on a pathway inside of our body in order to help protect it, which is very, very efficient. So how did we all get started? I got some notes because I really don't want to forget to say anything to you guys here tonight. So it all started back in 2005 when ABC News did a primetime investigative report. And yes, it's old and antiquated. It was in 2005, but it's history in the making. If you guys have not seen that ABC News report, will you guys drop ABC in the comments below so we can get you that? It is a 9-minute long report, and it will blow your mind. It will literally make your eyeballs pop out of your head because what you're watching is history in the making. So it's really important. So drop ABC in the comments below if you guys have not seen that, or if you have and you just want to see it again and you're not sure how to get access to it, drop ABC down in the comments below. But what you're going to see in this news report is a world-renowned news reporter, John Quinones. You can see him right here. He actually had his blood work done on national television, okay? And what it showed was a reduction in something called oxidative stress, which I'll talk about here in a second. But that is what history in the making is all about. And if you were around back in 2005 and you didn't see that news report, you kind of missed the boat. So you really wouldn't have known about this unless, you know, someone like myself or partnered with the company is sharing this information with you. This was a product that was actually being sold in retail stores, and it's a product that can lower oxidative stress and activate our body. It was being sold in retail, but the business model got switched, and that's how you and I can have this conversation here tonight about activation. So this is a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ. You can actually look us up. It's LFVN. And we just have some really amazing corporate staff that is really dedicated to the science and technology of improving our body from the inside and truly getting to the root cause. So what is oxidative stress? I'd never even heard of that term. I went to physical therapy school. They didn't teach us that. And that's really what's starting to happen now. They're not teaching us these things. We really have to be our own advocate when it comes to our health. But oxidative stress is damage to our cells. It's the process of normal cells being turned into abnormal cells just by breathing air. What happens when you cut an apple and you leave it on the counter? It turns brown. What happens when you leave your avocado on the counter? It also turns brown. I find myself adding lemon juice, right, to my avocado just to help preserve it, right? But just imagine that's exposed to the air and it's turning brown. That's what's happening inside of our bodies. We're literally rusting from the inside out. And we're also being exposed, like I said earlier, herbicides, fungicides, pesticides, all of that is causing damage to our cells. And that damage is linked to all those diseases that you can see here on the screen. I mean, everything you can possibly think of is linked to that. So just know that it's the free radicals that attack our cells and cause the damage. And that process of damage is called oxidative stress. Okay, I hope that's making sense. So this is such a big deal and it's a huge problem. What are people doing about it? Well, have you guys heard of antioxidants, right? It's everywhere. Well, just think about the word for a second. Anti means against, Oxidant means oxidative stress. So antioxidant, against oxidative stress. It's like we were already taking antioxidants, but didn't really know why we were doing it. I'm really gonna shift your mindset here in a second because this really blew me away. So if you take a blueberry, for example, it gets rid of one free radical in our body. Dr. McCord, which you'll see in that ABC News report, he says we are on fire with free radicals, 300 septillion to be exact. That's a 3 with 26 zeros. Huge, huge, huge. And when you take a blueberry, which is an antioxidant, it gets rid of one of those. Well, when you take a NRF2 activator, that actually turns on this pathway inside of our body called NRF2, NRF2. And when our body turns on that pathway, we're able to eliminate 1 million free radicals every second per second. So just think about this for a second. Imagine your body as a house fire. You could either take a Dixie cup of water to try to put out your house fire, or you can take a sprinkler system, fire hose in every room of your burning body to put out your house fire. Which would you guys rather have? Hopefully you're saying the fire hose, right? That's what activation is. It's turning on that system in your body. Our body is actually able to make its own antioxidants. And that is so much better than taking antioxidants. So supplementation is taking antioxidants. Activation is making our own, which is 1 million times more effective, okay? Hopefully you guys are seeing that. So just consider this for a second. Health problems are like plants. You've got to get to the roots in order to prevent them from popping up again. Your body will start to create a threshold. This is where the dependency on a supplement comes in. Your body will create a threshold for what it needs, and you keep having to add in more of that thing. One of my friends continues to take melatonin night after night after night, and she's like, I'm finding I have to keep taking more, right? Because is that really the root cause of why you're not sleeping well? No. So antioxidant out, supplement out, activation in. And if you guys are already activated, drop a comment below. I'm activated. Okay, share that in the comment, because I know there are definitely some activated people on. I am definitely activated, and like I said to you guys earlier, I treated over 20 patients today, and I could not have done that if I was not activated myself. So let's really get into what is going to help you activate your body. So our ABC News report, which I had mentioned earlier, and again, if you guys haven't seen that, please drop ABC in the comments. But it highlighted our flagship product, Protandim, which is a NRF2 synergizer. This is what activates that NRF2 pathway with just 5 plants: turmeric, milk thistle, green tea, bacopa, ashwagandha. Now, most people are really used to taking a look at all the individual ingredients on a bottle and saying all of these are really good. That's actually not the cool thing about Protandim. This product works in synergy. And so as you can see here from this chart, each individual ingredient is minute. There's really not that much in there. But when you combine them together, it makes it 18 times more powerful than just taking turmeric on its own. I actually had a patient today come in and said, I'm taking turmeric daily, okay? So these are things people are already starting to put in their body. So how could we make it more effective? It's more effective in combination, okay? So this is the product that lowers oxidative stress, an average of 40% in 30 days. Could you guys imagine taking like 40% load off, like stress off of your cells? How would you show up, right? And if you're already activated, drop a comment below with how you have been able to show up differently since being activated. For me, I can show up here tonight with you guys, okay? And I really want to point something out here. This gold stamp of approval, BSCG, this is the Banned Substance Control Group. This means that we're approved for professional athletes and Olympic athletes to take our product without any question. Did you guys know that they can't even walk into a GNC and pull anything off the shelves? So what we're really talking about here is really, really valid. All right. So these are some of the institutions that have actually done their own independent studies on our product, okay? So if you went to pubmed.gov, you're actually going to see 26 peer-reviewed studies and papers on Protandim. So not the individual ingredients. You're not going to go in there and type in turmeric. You're going to actually go in and type in Protandim. And that's really unique because you can't pull another, brand off the shelf and type that in because you're just not going to find any research. So this is not just your average Joe Schmo here. Okay, we're really talking something that is a technology of health that's really starting to disrupt really how we handle in our bodies and how we age. We're actually aging better. Okay, so this is really unique because some of these institutions here, like NIA, you can see here on the left, that's the National Institute on Aging, which is a division of NIH. They did a 10-year study on lifespan, which actually showed that Protandim is the only natural product proven to extend life by 7%. That's really exciting, really, really exciting. All right, so this is the PubMed site, and this is a really great slide because everything is blown up here. So if you were to go there and type in Protandim, you'll see those 26 studies, okay? Now, these words they're big, they're scientific. Some of these are even over my own head. But if you clicked on it and you decided to go in there and do any of that research, just read the abstract of it because that really gives you what the conclusion is about. So I just want you guys to know that when I was in PT school, I couldn't go to Wikipedia and Google to do any of my research. I had to come here where there's valid science, valid evidence. And so again, you're not going to pick anything else off of the GNC shelf and be able to type it in here and see this level of science. So just consider, what are you guys putting in your body, right? Like, is there any science behind it? So if you were to type in oxidative stress, you're actually going to see now over 200,000 studies linking oxidative stress, which is basically inflammation, to every disease and condition that you just don't want. And so if you were to type in oxidative stress and diabetes, you'll see those. Oxidative stress and cancer, you'll see that. So type in oxidative stress on its own if you wanted to, but it's really good to kind of niche down to whatever you might be thinking if it's related to. All right, so this, I really want to point this out because this is really unique. So there's a drug out there called Tecfidera, and you have to have multiple sclerosis in order to take this $50,000 a year drug. And they claim to be a NRF2 activator. And when they were doing their efficacy study, they had to compare it to another NRF2 activator, which they picked our natural product. That is a synthetic drug. And I just want to read this bolded statement here to you guys because this is profound. And this is their study. This has nothing to do with LifeVantage. As a company, they decided to take a look at our product in comparison to theirs in terms of activating that NRF2 pathway. And they said, interestingly, Protandim, a dietary supplement consisting of herbal ingredients, was the most potent inducer and therefore may be the most suited as a therapeutic strategy. I had to pause because that is massive. I've got patients that are actually taking this drug and they're feeling horrible, right? So just consider the possibilities of what activation can really do inside of your body. So this is another study by Washington State University. And it says, and it's kind of bolded out here, NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. I hope you guys have like light bulbs going off right now, like how profound this is. I've never seen a supplement have this level of science or a supplement turn on pathways inside of your body. That's amazing. So this kind of stuff gets me jazzed up, and I'm not a super sciencey person, but this stuff really does get me excited because the power behind what this really is can absolutely change your life. So this is another study here, and I'm really why I'm pointing this out is because it's so important for us to just be aware of what is happening inside of our body, okay? So this is another study here, and so I just want to point your eyes to that first column there. So those are all disease processes that happen inside of the body, okay? And you can see those arrows there, those arrows are pointing up, which means that that gene has a lot of activity to it, okay? And then in the next column, you can see it says protandem, and those arrows are pointing down. So those arrows that are pointing down is showing the decreased activity of those genes. Now, I'm not here to say that we heal, treat, cure, mitigate disease at all. We are not making any claims. What we are saying, though, is that we lower oxidative stress, which is linked to all of those. And this is a study that we can refer to show the decreased activity of the gene. So if you have the gene for a certain thing, okay, and protandem helps to decrease the activity of that, am I saying we're curing it? No. Am I saying we're not curing it? No. What I'm saying is we have a level of science to just show the decreased activity of that gene and prevention. And that's really what we're talking about here. Expressing our body in a way that is good for us, getting to the root cause and allowing our body to really thrive internally, okay? So hopefully you guys are kind of putting that picture together. Not saying that we heal, treat, cure, mitigate any kind of disease, but turning down the activity of a gene, I would say is a really good thing. So there's another pathway in the body called NRF1. And who remembers mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell, okay? Mitochondria helps to turn on the cell, right? It powers up the cell so it can work and function better. So if the mitochondria isn't functioning well, it actually leads to diseases, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, Huntington's. I mean, you guys know, even autism, you guys know that when you have some of these diseases, there's just no cure for it, right? But what could happen if we actually allowed the mitochondria to function and turn on, and so the cells can do what it's supposed to do? That's actually what we have here. This helps to improve the production of mitochondria, which gives us cellular energy. And I want to point out here the BSCG stamp of approval. Again, Banned Substance Control Group, showing that we're actually approved for professional and Olympic athletes to take our products, and all natural ingredients. So let's talk about probiotics, because this is really, really important. Most of the enzymes that we need and the hormones that we need are actually made in the gut. And what's really unique about probiotics, they've literally been on the market for like 60, 70 years. Why this is so unique is because it has a patented coating around it called Biotract. And if you've got a probiotic that doesn't have Biotract, you've got really expensive urine. I seriously mean that. Because with that coating, if you guys look at those two circles there, that light blue with Biotract means that we are actually delivering 60% of the good bacteria into our gut, compared to the 4% that doesn't have Biotract. So would you rather have 60% use of your product or 4% use of your product, right? I hope you guys are saying 60%. And this is really important because how many of you know people that are suffering with skin issues or just leaky gut? All of that stuff comes from where all of our hormones are made, which is in our digestive tract. So if you've got any of these conditions here, just consider what's happening to the gut and getting yourself on a good probiotic like ours that has that Biotract coating around it. Okay, so this is our omega. This is really unique because this is actually omega-3. We get a lot of omega-6s in our diet and just on a daily basis. So this is omega-3, but it also has vitamin D in it, which I thought was really unique. But the reason for that is because it helps the omega-3 to be absorbed better inside of our body. And how many people do you know now are vitamin D deficient? It doesn't matter where you live, right? You can live on the West Coast and you're deficient. So just imagine having this to help with your vitamin D levels, but also helping to absorb the omega-3 better. And I know you guys might be wondering, ooh, a fish oil, there's so many things out there now. Mercury, you might be wondering, right? The cool thing about our product is that it's so pristine. It has a tracking code on it. There's actually like a tracking label. You can go to a website and you can see the exact boat that this came from. I know you guys may have heard that term, farm to table. This is literally boat to bottle. And it's really pristine. You can actually chew it up. I know there's a lot of kids that take our omega and they chew it. and it tastes like lemon and honey. I don't chew mine, but I know that's what the kids say. All right, so let's talk about another form of activation here. This is Axio. This is literally Nerf 2 for our brain. I've got some right here, and this is actually what keeps us going throughout the day, at least for me. So we have a decaf flavor and we have a caffeine flavor. And what you're actually going to see here on the right-hand side, it's a chiropractor friend of ours. This is one of his patients, a young boy who has autism. And this is just a handwriting sample. So this is before being Nerf 2 activated with Nerf 2 and Axio, and then after. Just look at the difference in that handwriting sample. And there is actually a really, really, really cool video on brain mapping that a doctor did after people had been using these products. You can literally see the change in the brain. So if you guys have not seen that and would like to see that, drop in the comments brain mapping, and we will send that out to you, because this, again, this stuff blows my mind. It's just really fascinating to think all these things are happening inside of us, right? So as we start to take this product, people have felt better mood, just feeling clear, that mental fog is gone. They've got like internal energy without any of the jitters. So all that mental fogginess that you feel during the day, just imagine that cloud like being gone. So last but not least, people were giving, Pro Tandem to their dogs. And so they said, we've got to get Pet Tandem. So this is the exact same Nerf 2 technology for our dogs. So if you guys have a furry friend, drop animals down below. We've got some really good information that we can get out to you. But this is the same Nerf 2 technology. It helps to lower oxidative stress in dogs. And so, dogs are also experiencing more energy, better joint health. And really cool thing about this is that dogs don't have a placebo effect, right? You can give Fluffy a Pet Tandem and see what happens. So if you guys are interested in that, drop animals down in the comments below and we'll get you some more information. There's just some really cool videos that we can share. But also too, I will say that people have given this to horses. We do have a huge equine population as well. They've given to their cats and their goats. Yes, I said goats. So that's really what we have here. So at this point, you want to choose your level of biohacking. It is so important for you to lower your oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is linked to all those diseases. Nerf 2 lowers it by 40% in 30 days. Hopefully you guys were making that kind of a connection, okay? If at the very, very minimum, if there's nothing else you do, lower your oxidative stress. But all 4 products are really essential, because if you guys had 4 flat tires, think of your body like that. You wouldn't just change one, you would change all 4. So choose your level of biohacking here. And I just want to end with this, rise of the health activated individual. This is so important. I know so many of us are feeling so bad, kind of how I started out with, just kind of pinpointing the fact that we don't have to feel this way, okay? It really comes when we aren't taking care of what's happening on the inside. And these products aren't supplementing anything. They're literally turning on your body's ability to function and truly thrive. And when we do that, now we're able to show up better in our lives. I've got, people that say, gosh, I feel like I'm being a better mom, a better wife, a better daughter, just because I feel better. My mood is better. I'm not snapping at people the same way, right? So just consider, what are you guys doing for yourself? What are you doing to activate your body? And if you guys are ready to biohack with any of these products, drop I am ready in the comments and we'll make sure to get back to you so you guys can, get started in whichever level of biohacking that you choose to. So thank you guys so much for being with me here tonight. Drop any comments or questions that you have in the chat box below. We will be going through. I hope you guys enjoy spending time together tonight, and I will see you guys again sometime soon. Bye.